Come on everybody, do the conga. That's Gloria Stefan. Today we're talking about the Prince Gloria Super... Well, I don't know if it's the Super 6 to be honest with you. I've actually reviewed the Prince Gloria from TLV before, but it's a much newer casting. But this is casting number 2, so I thought I'd see what the differences are in the castings. Alright, well anyways, I don't know again if this is the Super 6, but here's a little blurb. This is the last car to be made under the Prince name because it became part of Nissan later on. It also, the Super 6 showcased this inline 6 that later on went into the Skyline GTs, which is a whole different story about Godzilla. It's funny, this car is rolling on 13-inch wheels, making around 100 horsepower out of that 2-liter engine. Alright, so yeah, it just says Prince Gloria. I really wish they wrote the date or the year of the model they're modeling, but alright, let's see. Standard packaging, you know, small enough that you could actually keep it somewhere. Although you don't want to store your models in packaging because diecast tends to bubble up, I think, if it doesn't get to breathe. So this one's got some auxiliary headlamps or something. So I have a different image. Hold on. Here we go. Without such. It's got some hubcaps. Oh, look at this. This thing has like mag wheel hubcaps or something. They don't look as plain as those hubcaps. Rear view, again, plain looking wheels. These lights seem huge on this car. And then they actually raced it. That's a pretty low resolution image though, sorry. Okay, let's take a look at what TLV did here. So we have a nice sky blue metallic, it looks like. And yeah, for some reason these wheels don't look at all like those wheels. They look more like racing mags or something. With the actual openings. So that black back there is part of their wheel design. There's a black piece of plastic and this chrome is separate and the tire sandwiches them. So I don't know really why they don't mold treads into the bottom of these though. Granted, I don't really care about treads as much, but I know a lot of people seem to like them. But they could have easily molded treads in those tires if other brands do and still trap two pieces of a wheel. Well, one nice thing though is because it's so curved or something, even the sidewall doesn't look so bad as some other TLVs. It looks curved, more like a tire. And the tire treads here on the side blocks, they don't look like truck tires, so that's good. Alright, we got a bunch of raised ribs here for the chrome work, and they're painted silver. It's a really strange looking door handle they have here. It's just whatever. That's the best I can describe it. Whatever. So a little contaminant there. This window has black printing here for that pillar, and then the rest of the molded details are on the casting itself. I like that there's no side window, so you could just probably see into the interior easy if, sadly it's black though. Alright, going to the front, we have some clear headlights here. Again, we gotta remember this is casting number 2. Nice details here, molded into the grille, and then I think that says Gloria, although it's not a different color, but there's some sort of script text there. I would have to assume that either says Prince or Gloria. So we have some vents there, but unfortunately there's no black paint. It would have been nice to have. This is a separate piece of plastic, this chrome bumper. And then this actually has a plastic base, and this is from 2003. It tells you what the car is, what scale, and what number it is in the series. So pretty much everything I want to know, except maybe it would have been nice to say like what year. But there's 11 generations of Glorias, so that's why it's nice to know what generation you're holding in your hand. This side of the model looks pretty good, and back here it says Gloria Super 6, so it is the Super 6. It just doesn't have those auxiliary lamps in the front. Going to the back, we do have these nice translucent taillights. Unfortunately, there's no silver for the middle part, the backup light. That would have been nice to have. Rib details here in the back, the separate bumper, a plain license plate. There's some sort of dot there raised for the lock. And then this badge here should be silver. It's just part of the casting though. But the silver line does go all around there, and then a lot of silver here for the rear window treatment. Seems excessively thick compared to that rear photograph. But yeah, silver for all the window molding. So we got some fuel filler here, a little bump for the lock, and then some vents up here, and vents here. Seems to be some sort of paint run or scratch in the die cast there. Some silver here for this central rib. Nice rib vent details there. So it is casting number 2. It is from 20 years ago. I do feel like as time has progressed, windows aren't recessed this much. Like, look how thick this molding is, right? So they were going for a really durable product, it looks like. But nowadays you can get almost flush windows, or the plastic literally comes out, and so it looks more flush with the die cast. So that's interesting. I guess we might as well look at the interior. I'm gonna not expect much though. Maybe 15 lumens. Here we go. Well, what do you know? It's actually nicely molded. Nice tight central details. Looks like there's a clock there. Maybe a radio controls there. And then look at the steering wheel. It's pretty funky, but it's not like a blanked off pizza pan like Hot Wheels. And then the seats have molded details. The door panels, yep, also armrest, a wind down window, and a handle. So pretty good. Again, this is 20 years old. This is the dawn of TLV. And sadly, TLV has only progressed about 5 years in advancement. They're just simply inferior to all the Chinese brands that are putting out models nowadays. So, alright, well anyways, it's interesting to see history. Let's compare it to the other one. Oh, what's going on here? There's a big bump or a scratch there, but I don't see it on this side. I'm actually shocked that this isn't paint rashed, like, a lot. It's really not even paint rash. There's maybe some slight contaminants here and there. But I think it's probably because it's a metallic paint. So you want to try to buy metallics. So my notes say this is the 2nd generation Prince Gloria, and this is casting LV-174. So 172 castings later, they came out with this again, and I think I know why. First, look at the base. This has some details on it. It's gone to metal, not that I actually like that, just makes shipping more expensive. But the overall proportions are totally different. And then these wheels look more like the photographs. They don't have like mag wheel appearance to it. But look at the width of this casting, this older one. It's huge. So I don't think this is 1/64 scale. Look at the vents up here, huge. Or maybe these are excessively small. And then you can see the window is far more flush. So like the trim work here of this windscreen compared to this looks like a Hot Wheels or something, right? An old Hot Wheels, not even a modern one. But yes, the overall width and the length is a little bit longer on this one as well. So looking at the front grills, yeah, you can. This one has those auxiliary lamps. I added my own license plate though. There's black paint in those rectangles that weren't over here. This has white for the turn signals. I don't even see them on that one. So yeah, the headlamps are bigger as far as the plastic goes. The windscreen wipers here are just printed on, same as here, so no raised windscreen wipers. The side shot's always a little more difficult. Back, let's put the bigger one in the back. But yeah, definitely the wheels. These look far more like the photographs, where those look like aftermarket mag wheels or something. You can see the thickness of this body stripe. It's just super thick, whereas here it's much thinner. So everything has just gotten tighter, basically. This one actually has that triangular window. This one does. This has no indication of such. This one has a silver pillar here. And this raised, I can feel a ridge. That one was just printed on a flat piece of plastic. But again, look at the window, it's flush. Whereas this one is literally recessed quite a bit. Yeah, there's a big recess. Alright, going to the back. Oh, now they did go add the backup lights to the tail lights, right? It just looks more like the photos. Again, I added my own license plate. And then this is part of the... It's not as detailed though, but on the photograph, this little part here is part of this side trim, so this looks more correct. There's also a printing right here, not on there. So yeah, it's quite a different vehicle. These tail lamps look massive. These look more like the photographs. So what I'm going to assume is, you know, when they were first starting out, they may have just been making this off photographs. And then later on, they actually got a real car and maybe 3D scanned it or something. Just have better reference. And then look at the interior. This is blue and gray and the whitish or gray steering wheel. So much more interior details. So those are the advancements after 172 more castings. So it's interesting. Interesting for sure to see the differences. I'll keep both, you know. It's just kind of interesting to see the advancements of toys. So let's put those up there next to each other. And I got two other princes to show off. This is the first generation, I guess. This is casting. It's weird. Where's the casting number? It says Nikatsu 1, but where's the LV number? This is a TLV product, so I don't know what went on there. This looks like a 50s Chevy. And then this is a Kyosho. It's a Skyline Sport Coupe. I wish it told you what year it was, but it's got side mirrors. Kyosho. Kyosho did a great job. I guess they still trickle out castings, but I haven't seen a collection by those guys in a long time, a new collection. They're just mostly taking their old castings, putting them into those clear plastic boxes, and then charging $20. But they were originally $6. Alright, well, that's a different brand. So, interesting. Interesting. So I think, again, for 20 years ago, this is alright. Yeah, I wasn't collecting 20 years ago. But sadly, and yes, there have been many more advancements in the newer one. It's just that compared to modern brands like Gen2 and Tarmac Works and Hobby Japan, the brands at the same price point as TLV is just far behind, I think. This also has no suspension, but all the modern ones, the newer castings, have suspension if that matters to you. And then paint rash. Sadly, it happens a lot in actually a lot of brands, but for my collection of TLVs, paint rash is a big issue. But luckily, not on this one. Alright, okay, so thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next TLV classic car video.